wish my girlfriend was on.
All right, we got a big group from Poet coming in today, and I don't know, they talk to you mostly, so why don't you want to explain, or Sonia, or?
Go ahead.
Sure. So yeah, today we're just going to do kind of a feeding trial and see how our cubes are fed and accepted by the cows out in the pasture. Just get a little bit of more of an informal, in-person opportunity. So.
And if you want to say who everybody else is here today.
Sure. So I'm Sonia with Poet, merchandiser for Dakota Gold Pro Pellet.
Kevin Herrick, so I'm on the technical services side of Poet.
Cater Exmouth, I'm another Pro Pellet merchandiser for Poet.
And Greg Bruckelman, president of Poet Nutrition.
All right, and so we're going to head out to a few pastures and just kind of run some trials.
We're going to go to 3 pastures, and I guess we're going to do a little comparison, right?
Yep.
Okay,
All right,
let's getting there.
all right, let's go.
This one real important guy was in the pickup. Yeah.
Answering phone calls.
Talking on the phone, so we have one more intro.
Yeah, so what's her name?
Hi there, I'm Austin Broyne. I'm from Poet Nutrition. I just started with the team about a month ago, helping out with some of the Pro Pellet stuff. And been with Poet for about almost 8 months now. And lifetime part of the
So first off, I want to apologize after he said he is a Broyne that I gave him a little grief. I'm really glad you're here.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
All right.
Pleasure to be here. So looking forward to it.
So we're taking off here. They got the fancy vehicles today, and we need the AC because it's hot.
Promoting their product, and that's what they should be doing.
So we're gonna head to, like we said, a few pastures. They got some normal Poet to Gold pellet. I can't even say it. Dakota Gold Pro Pellet. There we go. And then they got some other stuff, and they just really want to see what the cows prefer. And it sounds like we're gonna kind of sit them side by side, the 2 different products, and just see how the cattle react. They're wondering. Yes, we're gonna get to haying later today. This is just we thought it might be a little interesting for you, and this is kind of how we're leading into raking and baling later.
We should pull a fast one on these guys or anything this morning.
What should we do? Pull into a cornfield?
That, or should we just go around the section, pull back in the yard, and say, okay, we just wanted to see if you're good at following. Now we'll go do the pastures.
Come on, little doggies. They're a little skittish today with all the people.
The extruded ones come out and they're maybe a little bit more uniform in length and they're a little bit harder. The milled ones, we have more variability in the size, you can see. To demonstrate is that the cows will still eat these smaller nubs, and they're gonna eat these, and we believe we have data that shows that out of a mill it's improved digestibility than an extruded product. And even you can smell it. It's probably kind of hard to tell out here, but generally the extruded ones get burnt up a little bit.
So I didn't get it on camera very well, but so they're both their products made out of corn, and there's just 2 different methods of creating the product basically. And one of them is the one we've been using is it's milled, and so they say there's better digestibility and just better nutritional value, plus they smell better and they maybe taste less burnt. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the issue with them is they're smaller pieces, and some people may not like that. And so really what we're doing here today is seeing how much they eat, seeing if they miss those smaller pieces, and just comparing how much they ate from each product and making sure it's the same is what I got out of what they're saying. The other method is extruding, and so all the pieces are uniform, they're big, and so some producers might like that if they're dumping them on the ground, but that process costs a lot more, and so of course the producer or the farmer has to pay more to get that product. So we're basically seeing that the cows will still eat all of those small pieces. Did you tell them this one's gonna get muddy?
Get a little big bone. Yeah, I just told them we had to cross the creek here.
All right.
Yeah.
That fancy truck might not be so fancy.
Not that dry. Or
it's not that wet, or it's not that dry?
It's not that wet. My can't think's good.
Okay. Right here. good for them, I think. Someone was trying to roll up their window real quick. I don't think they got it up. As they're running up here, what do you think they're thinking?
Ermagerd pellets.
She's got a lot of saliva coming out. From that one, they think they learned the extruded were harder to chew. They said one cow took forever chewing some, and when they were on that line of pellets that we dumped out, it took a lot longer to chew. So,
Okay.
yeah.
How about we let you name it?
I don't know his personality.
Just don't let him swing his head and box in the face.
Hey, nice. Yeah, nice.
So we got that pretty well wrapped up. Did we have some good findings, or what'd you learn? Summarize a little bit.
Well, I think we saw that the cattle really loved both types of cubes. I mean, both of them were gone within 5 minutes. So, that was about 2 pounds per head. So they really liked them. The one thing we did notice was just the amount of chewing amount that extruded cube, that harder cube. We recorded a couple cows chewing for over 2 minutes on one cube. So it was that, and then also kind of the acceptance by the calves. It seemed like the calves like that, the propellant cube a little bit better than the extruded calves. So.
Which is the stuff Dad and I have been feeding for the last couple months. So yeah, it's a good looking bunch.
I defer to the guy that's got a PhD out there.
Okay.
He's just the arm
he's gonna be in
candy.
trouble.
Yeah, well, that was fun, guys. And, I'm glad our cattle worked with you a little bit and didn't just run off or anything. That makes it a lot easier. You don't have to chase them around the pasture trying to feed them. So
You're getting such a perfect bull too.
yeah. We did. Sonia and I are Packer fans. We decided to nickname him Bakhtiari.
That's pretty good. That's good.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for having us out here.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Take time out of your day.
Yep. Thank
You
you.
got a lot going on, so thank you.
So we're gonna eat real quick, and then we're gonna check on that hay. And if it's not ready to go, from looking at those pastures, we get a few bad eyes. And so, Ellie, you wanna come outside? Nope. And we're gonna, if we can't hay, we're gonna dart some cows and calves because there's a few bad eyes out there. Slappy. Let's make some hay, boys and girls. And he's on the phone. So once again, I'm in the 6155R. Never raked so many times with this thing. The 7520, which we usually rake with, is hooked up to the manure spreader because we were doing some of that yesterday and we plan on doing some more tomorrow. I got kind of a funny story at my expense. Yesterday, Dad and I were checking on some fence. There was a spot in the fence where a tree had fallen over, and it was like a really old tree, one that snaps pretty easily. Well, I'm trying to pick it up, tearing branches off, and I'm yanking really hard. It was kind of heavy, and all of a sudden it broke off, and I just stabbed myself right in the mouth. I don't know if you can see this kind of mark right here, and then my gum was bleeding. I went home and I said, Ma, I hit myself in the face with a twig, and I explained what was going on. And she didn't offer any, oh, my poor kid, no condolences. She just said, you're lucky you didn't hit yourself in the eye. I was like, thanks, Mom. I've never once pumped one of these tires up before. That ain't good. Came around and I noticed, well, we got a missing tooth, and this one's bent and this one's bent. And the worst part about it is I'm like the only guy that rakes, so it's really hard to blame this on Dad. Now I'm thinking, well, that rake tooth is somewhere. I don't know if it happened out here, but that thing could easily end up in the baler and poke through one of the belts or even go into a tire. So hopefully that don't happen, because we had a breakdown in this field a couple days ago with that big roller breaking, and it would be horrible if we broke a belt now or if we found a rake tooth in a tire. It's pretty nuts that this is our second to last field of grass that we have to cut this year. We only got one left. It's kind of a smaller one. It's a crappy one to do, and that's why it's the last one to do. Kind of feels like a week ago I was just finishing up rolling beans. Yeah, it's just this year's going so fast, despite it kind of being a crappy year in terms of just, you know, not for us in terms of farming, but just the world is, I mean, you know. Shortly we'll be done with this field. Jeff's cattle are right here. When I drive by, I'm gonna check over their eyes, because I would assume since we're having some issues, he might be having some issues as well. So, and I'll be out with the dart gun, so I will definitely check on those. This is Jeff's pride and joy right here. This nice horned Jersey. Are you friendly? Hello. I tell you what, guys. Jeff's such a great herdsman. All of his cattle are good. He's even got all his thistles killed. Uh-oh.
Oh.
That was worse than I expected. Dad will be able to start baling here soon. He went to one pasture and he darted a few, and so one of those is taken care of, and I'm gonna go to one that I know needs some darts, and then another one just to check on it because we haven't been there for a couple days. Yeah, I think that one needs some help. I kind of wonder if I should have not raked with it, but I was here, and you know what? You just gotta get your work done, you know. Oh yeah, look at that corn! Run some air in there and see if it holds.
Friday, and if it goes flat, we have to wait till Monday to fix it. The good thing is
we don't got no hay on the ground. We ain't got none.
Ain't got no.
You like my grammar? Yeah, I also forgot to tell you, I lost a rake tooth somewhere.
Oh.
And I noticed it at the beginning of the field today.
That it was gone?
That it was gone, and then like a couple of them are bent.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's broke too.
Okay.
So, I guess I did that.
Well, we can do a little repair in the off season. 2 rake teeth being gone is not a big deal.
This guy needs a dart too, Dad. This bird, he ain't feeling too good.
Let's see. What kind of medicine do you well, he probably needs kryptonite or something, don't you think?
He needs something fancy. He might need a 10cc dart, not these 6s.
Mouth to mouth. Why don't you give him
Ooh,
mouth to mouth?
no.
Yeah, I got that steer put in.
Oh, good. As we went to today, that had a little bit of a limp. Looked like it got some foot rot. It had a swollen
Rear hock, or swollen hock.
hock, which is like the kind of like the wristish area.
No, it's higher. It's the elbow.
Oh, I dropped stuff. The first thing I want to take care of is that one with a limp. Hopefully help that calf out. Do 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 do. I'd assume it's this little fella back away from the rest of the herd. You gotta look at these guys. We'll give him a dart. He'll be feeling better soon, hopefully. We got him. One could say it was a bullseye. Holy. Okay, watch out. Hey, hey, fella. You're eating the gun. Knock it off. You got slobber all over it. Right away, I see a calf. All right. Oh yeah, that's a good shot. One thing I want to mention is imagine us trying to give one of these a dart, or not a dart, but imagine us trying to treat one of these out in this pasture. You know, we'd have to chase them up. We'd have to set up a corral. It'd be pretty tough. Starting to walk away from me a bit. That'll do it. Ah, these are new pants. Oh, right. So it's that girl right down there feeding her calf. You guys been mudding? So here's what we got going on here. This wheel, this arm here, somehow bent, and the nut came off, and there's a bolt there, and yeah, that don't drive straight good.
I didn't do it.
No, okay.
So what happened was Cole's drone up there, see it up there?
Uh-huh.
It swooped down, kicked my baler's butt, and then it backed up like it didn't have nothing to do with it.
I think this, I mean, we got some bad feelings in this field because we broke down over there earlier.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Remember that big
Yeah.
thing broke, but
I think I might need a bar or a steel post to bow this back, unless you're gonna help me.
you know what's
fella.
not helping? Me standing here holding the camera.
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna land the drone so it doesn't disappear, and then we're gonna try to figure out how to fix this.
Here and here, but not here. If we
Okay.
can. You know, I'm thinking that Jeff just
Manhandles it?
He-Man's it right back.
He-Man moment?
Yeah.
Haven't had one of those for a while. My guess is this hole just right back here. That gauge wheel kind of dipped down in and then it went backwards. Because there's a lot of holes around here.
Just so.
Time to go and find some AC, don't you think?
I think so. I'm not.
All right. Well, hopefully we don't get any more calls about baler breaking or anything like that. I'm gonna go home. Holy crap, it is hot, it is humid, and I'm just gonna go sit in the AC. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks to Poet for coming out today. We had a fun time. Hopefully you learned some stuff. Hopefully we helped you out. All you watching at home or wherever you're watching, thank you so much. I appreciate it all. We'll definitely see you next time. Have a good one. What? Get your mind out of the gutter, dude.